only other elements, right? So I'll take this example. If I take suppose a subject, okay, and I'll take faculty, okay. Yes or no? Okay, one is enough. Okay, fine. So if I consider the subject element, it is complex element. Why? Because it is having children. It is having one child element. Yes or no? But if I consider this faculty element, what type of element it is? It is simple element. But the subject element is complex element, right? So this was the second example of complex elements. Then the third element is elements that contain only text. If you read this statement, then you might think that this is a simple element, right? But why it is considered as complex element is because of this point, right? So even these examples are fine, valid in XML. So if I take suppose say pharmacy, okay, and I'm taking some okay, okay, I'm just taking one example. Spelling can be wrong. Pharmacy. Okay. See, if you look at this element now, okay, by looking at the structure, you might think that this is a simple element, yes or no? Because it is having just some content, some text as a content, yes or no? But if this element is having, suppose, say, some attribute, suppose say 23. Now what? Now this element becomes a complex element, even if you write like this. Okay. Now this element becomes what? Complex element. Why? Because only of this attribute. Understood, no? Yes or no? That is what the third category is saying. See, elements that contain only text. Okay. And what is the fourth element? Fourth type of complex element? Elements that contain both text, both other elements as well as text. So if I take one example, I'll take college. Okay. Okay. So this element is having. Okay. I'll take one this thing. Let's take some AITD. I'll take, okay, and I'll take one element. Okay. Let's take a location. Okay. Now look at this fourth element, college element. Now this college element is having what? It is having combination. Yes or no? It is having content as well as the child element. So this is the fourth category of my complex element. Understood, no? So this is the first type of complex element. This is empty element, right? Okay. Now one thing you have to note over there is, see, each of this element may contain attributes as well. Okay, each of this element may contain attributes as well. So even for this empty element, you might have some attribute. Understanding, no? Some attribute you might have. Even the second type of complex element. Now, why this subject was complex element? Because it was having child element, right? So even here, it might have a attribute as well. Understanding? Now, the third example what I had given to you all was the element which contains some plain content. Yes or no? Now, why it is considered as a complex element? Because of this attribute. Yes or no? And the fourth, what is the fourth type of complex element? It contains some content as well as the child element. So if you look at this college element, it is having some content, yes or no, text content, as well as it is having the child element. So this is a combination. Understood? No? So these are the four types of complex elements. And again, each of these element can have IDs also. Oh, sorry, attributes also. Fine? Yes or no? Okay, so these are the four types of complex elements you'll have to study one by one. And out of four, I think yesterday we had seen only this example. Yes or no? Only this kind of example we had seen. Where is that? Yeah, this kind of example we had seen. How to define this subject element. Yes or no? Okay, now these three things again we'll have to see with proper example. These are the some standard examples in schema. Understood? No? So this we'll see one at a time. Okay, one by one. Fine, so we'll continue with the basic things. So now you must have got a clear-cut idea, yes or no, how to okay, what are the elements and all. Okay, so now we'll go with the flow. Okay. Okay, so this is schema, then reference, then schema element. So this will be the structure of the schema element. Okay, then yeah. Okay, defining simple elements we had seen yesterday. Yes or no? Okay, fine. And these were the different data types, some of the standard data types in XML schema: string, decimal, integer, boolean, date, and time. Right? Okay. Now again, these were some examples we had seen. Okay, all these things were done yesterday in class. Fine. Okay. Now going to some of the additional features about XML schema. Fine. So one is default values for XML simple elements, right? So yeah. So what is the meaning of this? See, if I'm having suppose say one element, I'll take the same element H. Okay, and age I'll some age I'm specifying, right? So how I define this in my XML schema? This is my XML element, right? Simple element it is, right? So how I will define this in my XML schema? Okay, I use XML access element name equal to age. Okay, and data type will give it as integer will give, right? Integer. Okay, and this is a closing tag, right? So this is how we define this in XML schema, right? So in this XML file, okay, I had provided one value 12, sorry, 24, yes or no? So if you want to specify some default value for this element, you can also specify in this schema. So here I'll say default equal to, okay, default equal to, I'll say 50. Understood? So in case if in your XML, okay, in this case, value is specified as 24, yes or no? So this 24 will be considered. In case if this value is not specified, then what will happen? It will be considered as 50. That's what this point is saying, okay? How to specify the default values. Only thing you have to say default equal to value. Only this additional attribute you have to put. Understood, no? Right? Okay. Now second thing is fixed value for the simple elements. Okay, so fixed value is automatically assigned to an element and you cannot specify any other value in your XML. Understanding? So in this case, if I say, yeah. So if I say, suppose say fixed equal to 50, in this case, what will happen? Here, user cannot specify any value. He cannot say 58 or some other value, you know, he is not supposed to enter any value. Always this value will be considered over here. That is what this fixed value is saying. Understood? No, see, fixed equal to red. In this case, yeah, it was a different element. Understood? No? So this is how we specify the default values and fixed values. In case of default values, the value can be specified over there. Only if the value is not specified, default value will be considered. And in case of fixed, no value cannot be specified, only this value will be considered in the XML. Understood now? Right? So as an example, suppose say I say 87. Okay, suppose say this is my XML file and this is my schema file. Yes or no? And I'm trying to validate this XML file against this schema file. So what will be the answer? Will it validate or no? Will it validate this file? Let's consider the example. This is supposed to be your XML file and you are validating this XML file against this schema. So what will happen? Will it validate this XML file or it won't validate? Yes, see, all these things are very important. In online lectures, whatever things I'm explaining, you'll please see that you understand and you implement also. Every time I cannot just explain all the things in offline lectures. Understood? In offline lectures, we can take some practical examples. Again, all these things are very important from the point of view of your semester paper. XML, it consists of 50% of your second module. Okay, so please see that you pay attention to my lectures, and if after the lecture, when you get time, please go to the notes and implement. And again, I said, again I'm saying the XML is you have to practice a lot. You have to write, you have to implement. Simply you cannot go to the notes. HTML somehow you escape, but here no. Okay, so why not validate? Because here I'm saying fix is 50. So better not to give this value only over there. Now it will validate. Understood? No? So by default, this value will be put over there, right? Okay, now that is how you provide the default values and fixed values for the simple elements, right? Okay, now we'll go for the attributes. Attributes. Now everyone knows what is the meaning of attribute, yes or no? Okay, what is the meaning of attribute? Again, general definition. Attribute is something which provides some additional information about one element. Yes or no? So I'll just remove this thing now. Okay. Okay, better to remove this. Okay. Now in this case, I'm having one element. Yes or no? Okay, there's one element. Okay. Now, what is the meaning of attribute? Attribute is something which provides some additional information about the element. Okay. I'll just take over there. Suppose say class or ID, whatever is the thing. Understood? Now let's take ID only. Okay, 67. Okay. So in this case, this ID is a attribute of this age element. right? Okay. Now going to the XML schema part. Okay. Now if I ask you what type of element is this age, you will say that it is a complex element. Understood? No. So now this age element is becoming a complex element only because it is having the attribute. Understood? And how to define this complex element, that example I have not yet explained to you all. Yesterday I had explained you all one example in which we had seen how to define the complex element which is having some child elements, yes or no? But this is a different type of complex element. This is a complex element which contains some attribute. So how to define this entire age element, that example I have not yet explained to you all. That we'll see one by one, okay, when we'll be entering into the complex element in detail. Fine? Okay, that I'm leaving to the that I'll just keep for now. Okay. But when you are defining this ID, when you are defining this attribute, just remember this attribute is defined as a simple element. Okay, I hope you understood what I'm trying to say. Okay, see, this age element is becoming now complex element. Yes or no? How to define that complex element we'll see later. Okay, this type of complex element. Understood? No? But when you are defining this attribute over here, the attributes are always defined as a simple elements. Okay, that's what this point is saying. See, that's what this point is saying. What it is saying? See, simple elements cannot have the attributes. Yes or no? If the element is having the attribute, it becomes complex. Yes or no? But the attribute itself is always declared as a simple type. That's what I had said. Okay, in this case, this age element is complex element. How to define that we will see later. But this attribute becomes a simple element. Understood, no? And the syntax to define this attribute is same like your simple element. Yes or no? So how you only the difference is you will have to say attribute name equal to what is the name of the attribute, ID, and then what, type equal to what type of value it is going to take. I will take integer only. Fine? Yeah. Only thing here you need to say attribute. To define the element, we say what? Element, yes or no? Element name equal to something, type equal to something. But when you're defining the attributes, okay, syntax is same. Only thing you have to say attribute. Give the name and give the type. Right? Okay, now this line is going to come inside the definition of this age. And how to define this age, those test cases are not yet explained. Understood, no? But just remember that attributes are defined as a simple elements. Okay, and say syntax is similar. Only thing you need to write attribute over there instead of element. Right? Okay, how to define the attributes? See, this is the syntax. Same syntax. Yes or no? Only thing here, attribute you have to say instead of element. Yes or no? Fine. Okay, again the data types, same data types, even the attributes can take the same data types. It can be a string, decimal, integer, boolean, date and time. Okay, these are some standard examples. In addition to this, we are having some other things also. Okay, but these are most common types. Okay, yeah. So same example again. Say, look at this element now. Look at this element. Element name is what? Last name. Yes or no? But it is a complex element. Why? Because it is having the attribute. So how this attribute is defined? Same thing again. Access colon attribute name equal to length, type equal to string. Understood, no? Yes? Okay. Now again the same thing. Yeah, we'll see some default and fixed values for attributes. For attributes, just now what we had seen the default and fixed values for elements. Yes or no? Default and fixed values for elements we had seen. Yes? Okay, and this was the syntax for the element definition. For element definition, we just say default equal to value, fixed equal to value, right? Okay. Now we'll see how to specify the default and fixed values for attributes. Again, it is same. In the definition of the attribute, you will have to say default equal to some value and fixed equal to some value. Syntax is same. Understood now? Yes or no? So again, I'm not going in detail. Same thing it is. Okay. Only for the definition part, you need to say default equal to value or fixed equal to value. Same like your simple elements, default and fixed values. Right? Okay. Now, okay, optional and required attributes. Okay, so by default in XML, see, attributes are optional by default. Understood? No, so even if you don't provide the attributes, okay, still it is going to work. Okay, to specify that the attributes are required, we'll have to use the use attribute, and the value will be required. Understood? No, this is same like the required attribute in the HTML what you are using for validations. Yes or no? Only thing here you'll have to say use equal to required. Simply don't say required. You have to say use attribute equal to required. Understood? Now then you will have to provide the attribute. If you are not providing the attribute, it will not validate. Okay, so these are some of the basic things about the attributes, how to define the attributes, simple attributes, and how to provide the fixed and default values for attributes, and how to make it compulsory. You have to say use equal to required. By default, they are optional. Understood, no? Right? Okay. Now we will see some kind of restrictions, or some kind of restrictions, or some kind of conditions you can say on the content, right? So yeah, just give me 1 minute. Okay. Okay, now we'll see the meaning of this thing, restrictions. Okay, so in the introduction part, what we had seen, okay, in the introduction part, what I had said, for validation, when we saw the differences between DTD and XML schema, what we had seen, DTD provides less control, yes or no, for validation, whereas the XSD provide more control on the validation. Okay, now why it provides some more control on the validation? That is, first of all, it is because of the data types, yes or no. Even there are some restrictions that are wait, I'll go back to the same topic. Okay, see, now why it provides more control on the validation? First point is because it supports different data types, yes or no. Like if I specify over here, I'll remove this attribute. Okay, yeah, I'll define this element. Okay, access element name equal to ID, type equal to integer, right? Sorry. Okay, so if I validate this XML file with this schema, it will validate, yes or no? It will validate, yes or no? Because see, here I am saying integer, and your data is also integer, yes or no? If I say, suppose say some string I'll take, now what will happen? Will it validate this element against this particular schema? No, it won't validate. Why? Because in the schema I am saying that the age element sorry, the age element should take what? Integer value. Whereas in my XML file, I am not providing the integer value. So this file will not be validated by your schema. Understood? No. So because of this, we say that as compared to the DTD, the schema provides some more control on the validations. If this was DTD, in DTD, what we specify? We just specify PC data or C data, yes or no, past data or past character data or character data, right? PC data or C data. That doesn't have any meaning with respect to data types, yes or no. But here, in case of schema, we can specify properly what type of data we want. That is because of this restriction. That is because of this data type. This is one point. Okay, this is the one reason why we say that XML schema are more powerful than DTD, because of the name, because of what? Data type concept, yes or no. By putting this data type, first only we are imposing some kind of restrictions on the content. This is one point, right? Okay, now, okay, see, in addition to this inbuilt data types, user can also put his own restrictions. Understanding? Yes or no? So first of all, this is the kind of restriction that we are putting on the content, that it has to be what? Integer, right? So these are some inbuilt restrictions, yes or no? Now, in addition to this, user can also provide his own restrictions. Understood? No, user defined restrictions, and those restrictions are known as facets. Understanding? See, the same, whatever I said, these are the same points. See, when an XML element or attribute has a data type defined, whenever you specify a data type, it puts a restrictions on the content, yes or no? It has to be of that content, it has to be of data type, yes? Okay, if the element is of type date, and if it contains, suppose, a string, it will not validate, yes or no, because of the data type, right? Okay, now with XML schemas, you can also add your own restrictions. Understanding? And these restrictions are known as facets. Understood? And this is a reason, this is a one more reason why we say that XML schemas are more powerful than DTD. First of all, data types are provided, and because of the data types, we are already imposing some kind of restrictions on the content. Yes or no? Now, in addition to these data types, the user can also provide his own restrictions, which are known as facets, right? So these examples, some examples of these restrictions we'll see now. Okay, there are a lot many things, but we'll see some basic ones, the frequently used ones, right? Okay, yeah. Okay, so what are these restrictions? Restrictions are used to define acceptable values for elements or attributes. Okay, and the restrictions are known as facets. Okay, yeah, acceptable values. Fine. Using the data type, we specify what type of data we want. Yes or no? But using the facets, we can still limit our this thing domain. We can say that okay, only these values are accepted, only those values are accepted, like that. Understood? No? Right? Okay. Now the first example is restrictions on facet values. Okay, restrictions on values. Right? So what the question is saying over here? What is this question? Okay, read this question. Okay, just read this question. Define an element H with a restriction. And what is the restriction they are saying? The value of the H element cannot be lower than 0 and or greater than 120. So this is a restriction that we have to add. Understood? Now, again, I'll say still the element is simple element only. When you add some kind of restrictions to the element, it doesn't become a complex. Understood? No, I'm not adding any attributes or something. These are some additional restrictions. Understood? So if I take the same example, okay, if I take the same example, and suppose say if I, okay, element name equal to age, type equal to access colon integer, okay, see, if I define suppose say this element, age element is my XML element, and I am defining this element in my schema, right, element name equal to age, type equal to integer, right? Okay. Now, if I take suppose say 58 as a value, will it validate? Yes, it will validate. Okay? Even if I put 0, yeah, it will validate. Even if I put 200, it will validate. Even if I put 2000, still it is valid. Yes or no? Because it is of integer. Yes or no? Again, there can be some maximum limit. What like even same like your C or C++ language, till what range it can accept the integer values. But let's take a simple example. Even if I take 2000, it will validate. Yes or no? Okay. Now, actually, looking at the practical scenario, this age is not actually not possible. Yes or no? Okay, so that's why this point is included over there. See, the value of age cannot be lower than 0 or it cannot be greater than 120. So these restrictions we have to put now. Understood? No? So that these values are not accepted. Understanding? If I keep this simple definition, this value will be accepted. Even if I put 20,000, it will be accepted. Right? Okay. Now we will see how to put the restrictions. Understood? So how we have to start that? See, I'll explain you. Actually, this is how it is going to look like. See, actually, again, I'm saying it is a simple element only. You might think that there are so many instructions that we have to write just to define the simple element. But this is because of that restrictions. Understanding? So we'll see now how to define that simple element. Again, the element is simple element only. Only thing I have to say that the values are restricted between 0 to 120, right? Okay. So this is how the element will be defined. So again, the same syntax, access colon element name equal to, what is the name of the element? H, right? And usually what we had said, we were saying type equal to integer, yes or no. So that type I'll define using one more element over there, separate element, right? Okay. Okay. So first I have defined my element. I have just stated my element. It is a symbol. That is the name of the element is age. Right. Okay. Now I have to say that it is a simple element. In single line, if you are defining the single element, then as I said yesterday, there is no need to say that that is a simple element. It is by default. If we are defining the complex element, then what we had mentioned yesterday, complex type, yes or no, just to tell the XML parser that this is a complex element, right? So in this case, the age element is still a simple element. So that's why I'm saying simple type. Just to tell my XML parser that it is still a simple element, right? Now I'll use the restriction. Okay, I'll say that restriction. Okay, what is one restriction on this element? It has to be integer value, yes or no? So I'll say restriction base equal to access integer. Understood what I did? Otherwise, if you also specify here type equal to access integer, it is same. But I'm just using some standard statement over there just to put a restriction. Understood? So what I did, first of all, I said that it is a simple element, simple type. Then what I'm saying, I'm putting some kind of restriction on its content. Whatever content will be here, on that content, I'm putting one restriction. I'm saying that restriction base equal to access colon integer, right? Okay. Then what were the other restrictions? Some other things were there, no? What were those? Yeah, the value of age cannot be lower than 0, it cannot be greater than 120. Okay, so for that we are going to use these two attributes, mean inclusive and max inclusive, right? So I'll say access mean inclusive value equal to, what was the value? 0. Yes or no? This I'm closing over here. And similarly, access max, both these values are inclusive, I'm saying. Okay, value equal to 120. Both these things are inclusive. This is a minimum value and this is a maximum value, right? Both these are included. Fine. So even this I'll close over there. Okay. Okay. Yes or no? So first of all, I have defined this element over there, age. Then I'm saying that it is a simple element. Then I'm putting on restriction on that element with respect to the content. What type of content will be accepted? Integer content. And here what I'm saying that minimum value will be 0, maximum value will be 120 using this using these elements. Min inclusive value equal to some value, max inclusive value equal to some value, right? Okay. Now I'll close all my elements. This element is already closed, this element is already closed. So which element I will close now? This value, this element, restriction. Okay, so I'll say access colon restriction. Yes or no? Now which element I have to close? This element, simple type element I have to close. Yes or no? Okay, this element I have to close. Fine. So that element I am closing now. Access colon what? Simple type. Okay, then what? Which element is remaining now? This element, access element. This one I'll close now. Access colon element. Understood now? Yes or no? So this is my schema. So if you look at this schema, how you can read this schema, what meaning you will get after going through this schema, you will come to know that okay, there is one element age. Yes or no? It is a simple element. Yes or no? There is a restriction on that content. What kind of values are accepted? Only the integer values are accepted, right? And here what I am saying, yeah, minimum value can be 0, maximum value can be 120, right? This is what, these are some conditions that I am imposing on this age element. Understood? No? So in my XML, going to the XML, if I have this age element whose value is supposed to say 25, is it valid? Yes, it is valid. Understood? No? Because the it is integer element and this value whatever is there, it is between these two things. Yes or no? So this is valid, right? If I take age as 121, what will happen? Okay, what will happen now? It is invalid. Understood? No, because in schema I said that the value minimum, yeah, this is a range. Yes or no? Your value is 121, so this is invalid, right? Again, if I say age, okay, again if I say what I'll say, I'll take suppose say 5. Again, it is valid or invalid? Again, it is invalid. Understood now? Why? Because here I'm saying that it has to be integer value, but here I'm saying character value, right? Again, if I say age, I'll say 58. Now, what about the last one? Is this valid or invalid? Is this valid or invalid? What about the fourth example? Valid or invalid? Simple example. Why invalid? 58, no, it is. Why invalid? 58, no. Correct. Good. Okay, so you have to properly look at the closing tag also. Understood? No, so see, there is a mismatch, age and age 1. In schema, what I am saying, it has to be age, but here I am saying there is a mismatch. Understood? No, so that's why even this is invalid. Understood, no? So you have to keep an eye on the text also. Understood? Actually, looking at the by when you're going to implement this code XML, the Notepad plus plus is going to tell you all these things. But for exam purpose, I'm saying, understood? No, for theory, we have to write these things. That's why I'm saying you have to properly look at the entire text of your XML file. Understood, no? Right? So, but looking at this schema, yeah, these are some examples what are valid and what are invalid things. Understood? Okay, I hope you understood the simple point. Yes or no? Element was simple. Again, see, element was simple. It was a simple element only, right? Only because of those restrictions, I had to write all these things. Understood, no? Okay, so I hope you got this point. Okay, restrictions on the values. Okay, now this is restrictions on set of values. Restrictions on set of values. Now, what this example is saying, see, to limit the content of an XML to set of acceptable values, we would use the enum constraint, enumeration. Even in your programming languages, you must have studied this enum construct, yes or no? I think, yes, even in C++ we have studied this part, I think. Even in C, I think it is available, okay, enum, enumeration, okay, but only thing that is not that widely used, okay. Okay, now we'll see how to use this construct in JavaScript, okay. So see this, look at this example. Look at this example. What it is saying? Define an element car, okay, with a restriction. Okay, what is restriction? The only acceptable values are, yeah, these are the three acceptable values, either Audi, Golf or BMW. Okay, so if I define my element car, okay, I'm defining my element car, okay, car, yes or no? Okay, and yeah, how you will define this element in schema? You will say element name equal to car, and then type equal to string, you will say. Yes or no? Yes or no? So this is a absolutely correct statement. There is an element car, and you are saying that, okay, this is how you define in schema, right? So if you take any example over there, even if you say suppose say Swift, it is valid. Yes or no? Even if you say suppose say some other car, Alto, still it is valid. Yes or no? If you take any content, it is valid. Any string content, it is valid, right? Yes or no? Okay. Now here what it is saying, define an element car. The only acceptable values are these three things. Okay, only acceptable values are these three things. Understood, no? So how we will handle this in schema now? Understanding how we will handle this in schema, right? So we'll have to use this enumeration element over here. Understanding, and we'll have to specify what values are accepted. Understood? So again I'll go with the same example. So what values are accepted? They are saying only that Audi and what? Yeah, Audi, Golf and BMW, right? So that example we'll see now, right? Okay. So again, I'll start defining this element now, car. Okay, so how to define access element name equal to, what is element name, car? Yes or no? Okay, then what I have to say? Since I'm going to put some restrictions on this, okay, it won't turn out to be a complex element. Still, it is a simple element. Yes or no? So that I'm saying now, access simple type. Still, it is simple element. Yes or no? Okay. Then I'm going to put some restrictions. Access restriction is equal to what type of values will be accepted. What type of values will be accepted? String values. Yes or no? Okay. Then what? Okay, string values are accepted, fine. But as per our example, we need only one of those three values. Yes or no? So we are going to use the enumeration element. So I'll say access enumeration. What is the value? What is the first value they had said? Audi, I think. Yes or no? Okay. What is the second value they have said? Access enumeration value equal to okay, Golf and access. Even when you are typing this code out, don't try to copy paste the things, please. We are not developing some application over there. You have to write 100 marks theory paper, okay, for final exam. That's what I'm telling you. Okay, it's okay if you had only the practical examination for this subject, then I would have understood. Okay, you are practicing and all. So you are using some shortcuts of the editor and all. But at the end of the semester, you have to write 100 marks theory paper. Theory paper means which will have some programs also. So please see that you have enough practice. You don't take the shortcuts of those editors, copy pasting the things, using the auto pop-up and all those things. Okay, that's the best way to practice this kind of thing is use plain notepad. Okay, yeah, enumeration value equal to what is the third value? Okay, BMW, I'll say. Fine. Okay, so these three elements are closed over there. Which element I have to close now? Restriction. Yes or no? So that element I am closing. Access colon restriction. Okay, then what? Which one is remaining? Type, simple type. Okay, so access colon simple type. And then what? Which element is remaining? Element. Access colon element. Understood? Yes or no? So this is my schema. This is my schema. So by looking at this schema, what things you can conclude? Okay, you will come to know that okay, there is an element car. Yes or no? It is a simple element. Okay, what type of values it is accepting? String values. Okay, here I am saying enumeration value equal to Audi, enum value equal to Golf, enum value equal to BMW. Means what? Only one of these three values are accepted. Okay, so if I yeah, I'll go to my XML now. Okay, in my XML, suppose okay, in my XML, okay, if I'm having this element, okay, and if I'm having suppose say some different car, I'll take some different car also. So this is what? Invalid. Understood? No, because it is not from this range. Only this one of these three values are accepted, right? If I take suppose say BMW, it is valid. Understood? Now this is valid. Okay. Again, if I say some number, again it is invalid. Okay. Understood? No. Right. Again, if I say one more example car, I'll say D1. Okay. What about this? Even this is invalid. Understood? No, because again there is a spelling mistake. This spelling mistake means it is considered as a different value. Okay. Audi 1, yeah, it is what Audi. Understood? No, so even this kind of things are important. Fine. Okay, even the case sensitive, yeah, case sensitive also values are I think considered. Understood? No, it is case sensitive. Fine. Understood? So this is how you specify what? Yeah, a set of values. Only particular values are accepted in XML. Only one of these three values are accepted. Understood? No, right? Okay. Now going to the next thing is restrictions on series of values. Okay, now this is like the pattern matching. Okay, yeah, this will any difficulties? Okay, yeah, this you will understand. Okay, there is nothing difficult over there. Okay, I'll explain you all the with the example again. I'll take the same element. Same example I'll take. Yeah. Again, this is pattern matching. Understood? No. Yeah, look at this example now. Yeah, what I'm saying. Okay, yeah. Access element name equal to initials. So there's one element initials. It is a simple element, right? There's a restriction on that. What? Only string values will be accepted, right? And one pattern I have defined over there. See, access pattern value equal to a pattern. Now, when I had explained all the validation part, that time I had explained all this. So now to define the pattern and all. Only thing here, there is no need to specify this slash and all. Directly a pattern you can specify, right? What is the meaning of this pattern? What is the meaning of this pattern? From this domain, from this set, 3 characters are accepted, yes or no? So now you must have understood what will be the valid XML and invalid XML, right? So if I take this element in my XML, if I write initials, okay, and if I say suppose say ABC, if I say B, is this valid? Yes, it is valid because this A is from this set, this B is from that set, and the C is also from that set. Yes or no? So it is valid. Okay. Then again, if I say A, B, C, D, it is what? Valid or invalid? Valid or invalid? It is invalid now because here I am saying I need only 3 characters on this set. So it is invalid. Here I am having 4 characters, right? Similarly, if I say again, this is valid or invalid? Again, invalid. Understood now? Because that set I have not defined over there. I am saying I need only the characters, that too lowercase. Okay. If I say again, okay, B, valid or invalid? Valid it is. Yes or no? Again, it is valid, right? If I take okay, if I take A and B, what about this? It is valid or invalid? Again, it is invalid. Why? Because this n is not from this particular set. Uppercase it is. Yes or no? Okay. Important is not these things I already explained to you all. Patterns, how patterns works and all. Important thing is how you specify the pattern over there. So you have to say access colon pattern value equal to value of the pattern. Understood now? Yes or no? So if I have this thing, this is valid, invalid, 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 invalid. Understood now? So now you must have got the clear-cut idea how this XML schema is, why this XML schema is more powerful than DTD. Because see here we can provide so many validation constraints, yes or no? But in DTD this was not possible. Understood no? So similarly you can specify your patterns. Okay, see this was the basic examples. Okay. Some so simple examples this are understood now. So all these things we already seen in validation part. Okay, how to write patterns and all. Okay, here the OR operator is used, either this or that. Pattern value equal to either male or female. So this gender element is having either you can take male or female value. Understood no? Right? Again. Okay, so from here I'll continue in my next lecture. What time I started? 10. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so I hope you got the idea, some idea about some more restrictions and constraints. Fine. So in my tomorrow I don't have a lecture. Tomorrow I'm having a practical setting. Okay, so please see that you get your work okay during tomorrow's practicals. Understood now? I'll just verify all your validations and all. Okay, and see that you are able to explain me the code also. It's not that okay you got the output that means done. No, whatever is the code, you should be able to explain me the code. Understood no? Okay, this is a function, these are the validations, these are the patterns I'm using, these are the events that are getting triggered when I click on this button and all. Understood no? And even if I ask you to modify some simple thing, I won't be asking you to do some hi-fi changes. That's just a simple thing. You should be able to do that also. Understood no? And whatever you are supposed to do in your sign up page and even those 4 programs, all the things I have already explained to you all. It's not that okay I'm giving you all some additional tasks which is not explained. No, each and everything I had explained, I had implemented, I had demonstrated the concepts. Yes or no? The same thing you're supposed to implement in your sign up page. Understood? And you should be able to explain me the code. That is important for me. For me, just getting the output, that is not important. Anyone can get the output by using some other means also. So what is important for me is you should be able to, yes, implement the thing and you should be able to explain me the code properly. And even if I ask you to modify your code here and there slightly, you should be in a position to modify. If you are if you are learning and implementing the thing okay on your own, that means you will be able to change the code also. Understood no? That is not a big task. Only thing what you're supposed to do is okay, prints. I think it will be better if you don't get the printouts of third experiment JavaScript. Understood? Now, because I have not yet verified your work. Understood? If you are taking the printouts, please see that all the things are properly mentioned. Understood? No. Even if one thing is not there, then again you'll have to take on a new printout. Understood, no? So if you are taking the printout, please make sure you are having all the things in your code. Whatever things are specified in that PDF, please see that all the things are there in the code and all the things are working fine. That is also important. I hope you people have tested your code also. Test for each of the thing whether it is working or not. Understood, no? If you are confident enough, then you can get the printouts. Understood, no? For third experiment, I'm saying, and regarding the second experiment, many people have not yet submitted the second experiment. So please see that second experiment, you get the hard copies tomorrow along with your soft copies. Soft copies means your pages, codes I'm saying. Understood? Right? Okay, so I'll start taking your attendance. Yeah, 11:15 the lecture gets over now. Or 11, yeah, 11:15. Yes, 1 is not there. 2, roll number 1, roll number 2, roll number 3, roll number 4. Sanish today also, Sanish is absent. What happened to him? Yes, roll number 5, Jason. 5 is present. 6, Saish. 6 is also absent. Many people are absent today. 7 present. 8 present. 9 present. 10 okay. 11 present. 12 present. 13 present. 14 14, okay, 14 they have gone for that one function they're having, I think. Yeah, 15 present. 16 present. 17 Mohit not there. 18 Sia present. Then 19 present. 20 present. 21 present. 22 present. 23, and don't remain absent, please, to go to, because don't miss out your practicals. Okay, yeah, 22 present. 23 present. 24 present. 25 present. 26, okay, 26 also, okay. Then 27, 28, 27 also. 27 is not there. 28 is there. Yeah, 28 is present. Then 29 present. Then 30 present. Then 31 present. And 32. Roman also you are absent, I think, for continuous 2 lectures. Okay, 32 present. 33 present. 35 present. 36 present. 37 present. 38 present. 39 present. Mohiresh also same thing. 40 not there. 40, roll number 40 absent. 41 present. 42 present. 43 also not there. Yesterday also she was absent. 44 present. 45 present. 46 40, okay, Tanisha is there. Okay, 46 is not there. 47 49 50 51 present. 52 also present. 54 present. 54 is present. What about 55 present? 56 present. 57 57 present. 58 present. 59 present. 60 61 present. 62